Hello, this is Dr. Patrick Porter, and I'm going to be going over the top 10 enhancements to our new BrainTap headset. I want to welcome you, and remember, if you have any questions at all, please give us a call here at BrainTap Technologies at 302 721 6677, and we'll go over them with you personally. Now, first of all, we've engaged a brand new manufacturer. So we've made a number of improvements we're going to go over. I said 10, but we're actually going to go over 14 new improvements that we have. You're going to find that this new model is lighter, it's more comfortable, it's easier to adjust, it's more effective than ever before. And this is our goal with each new build that we do, is to come up with the improvements that we hear from you out there in the field telling us how we can make this product better. For those of you that aren't familiar, this is my 12th light and sound machine, the second version that we've had where it's all combined with the eyeglasses and the earphones all in one to make it so simple and easy because we've only got one cord now. So if you're still using one of the old MindFit systems, it's time to upgrade and to start using the new system. It's so easy, and I'm going to go over some of the reasons why we're finding such a great improvement in the technology. First of all, there's a lot of new things that we're going to go over. When you set somebody down, helping them to relax, reboot, and strengthen their busy brain, we can now see the new system is easy to clean. It has a gloss finish. It's all manufactured in the same location now. So that means the white of the earphones matches the light of the visor. It's lighter weight when you have it on your head. We've included red light therapy. I'm going to go into more of these as we go into it. We have a volume control and a light intensity control on it. There's no longer those big knobs that you would have to screw in and screw out. We've designed an easy slider adjustment. It's worked so well. I was at an event in India just recently, and we had hundreds of people getting on, and it was just me and one person, a friend that had traveled there with me. And most of the people, I would say 99% of the people, without any help on our part at all, could put the new headset on, adjust the visor, and start listening right away, which is a vast improvement over the old system. So as we talk about the new system, the headset has a greater range of adjustments for better fit. You're going to see later on in the presentation how we have different size heads from very small children, 3 years old, up to my son is wearing it and he's 6'5", and so you can see that it works from somebody who's 3 years of age up to he's 33 now, and he's pretty tall, pretty big guy. So you can see this headset now has a very wide range. It's more comfortable. It doesn't squeeze into the ears as much as the old one did. Of course, it's a headset, so there's all these other improvements. The visor is thinner and lighter. It's more flexible, so it won't cause pressure on the ears and nose. This is one of the things we found with our old system. So it's a lot more flexible when you put it on. Now, one of the keys to it even fitting better is once you adjust the visor and you have it on, just take the ears and just move them, the earphone part of it, move it away from the ears a little bit, put it back on, and it's going to be even a better fit for you. Now, number three, we have the headset visor with the gloss white finish, so it's easy to clean. Remember, when you saw the other one, a lot of people thought, hey, this looks like a used machine. They weren't used, but the problem was that the visor was being manufactured at one factory and the headset was being manufactured at the other. And when they put them together, the colors did not match. We've put them both together. You're going to be so happy with the way this looks, the way it feels. It really does look like a high quality piece of equipment. And the nice thing for you as an end user is that we haven't had to change the price. We've kept the price the same, even though we have incurred a little bit greater cost on producing this model because of all the improvements. Now the earphone pads are now black, and so is the cloth that's covering the light inside. You'll see here on the presentation here that we have the black here and the black inside. This is going to help it stay cleaner and nicer when you're using it in your facility. You're still going to want to clean it, obviously, but it's going to look nicer for a longer period of time. Number five, the adjustment of the visor is simple now. It's just a simple slider. And when you slide this on and get it to fit, it's so easy to adjust on the fly. You can reach up with two hands or one hand even and adjust this visor and make it fit right for you. And from one person to the next, it's so easy to use. You don't have to unscrew those bolts, put them back on, and adjust the visor that way. It's so clean and easy. Number six, We have red and blue lights now in the earphones. The blue light is set to a frequency known for parasympathetic calming, and the red light is known for enhancing blood flow. Now, also through the earphones, we have the Noget frequency 287, which is known to relax the nervous system. So we have all of this happening inside of the BrainTap headset, all while they're wearing it. So these are all different technologies that are all part of the same program. Number 7, the visor LED lights are new, brighter, and crisper, and it let us eliminate those the bulky cords that some of you didn't really like that we had that powered the nine. They were tube LEDs that were in there, and what we found out was with the new LEDs, the brightness of them, that we're getting a brighter, more consistent, crisp delivery of the frequency following response. So we got to get rid of those cords. You can see the clean outlook here of how the BrainTap looks. It's so clean and easy to use. We were going for more of an Apple look instead of, you know, if you will, like an Android look. Apple is usually clean, and we actually went with Apple White on the product. Number 8, the headset has been upgraded for better sound quality. In fact, when we did our beta testing, which we've been testing the unit actually since last November, and we found out that while people were using it, they scored it out of a 10, a 9.5. So that means the sound quality is better, it's cleaner, we have a wider range, so we can get the brainwave entrainment done, and I'm going to go over some of that a little bit later in this presentation as well. But just know that we have the highest quality. This headset is actually 2 generations improved than the one that we had before in the MindFit system. Number 9, we have a volume control that has the plus and minus now on the headset. So as you're using it, you can simply reach up while you have it on and adjust the volume of the headset while you're listening. In fact, when I put a client on, I will actually show them this is the button to adjust the volume. You just press it up or down and you'll get the wider range. So when you turn on the BrainTap headset, you're increasing the volume so you get the lights to function, but then you can decrease the sound in the earphones so that you still have that crisp bright light with your eyes closed. It's going to work with the frequency following response, and you're getting the right comfort level of what you're listening to. Number 10, we now have a battery indicator light. This is something that you've asked for, we've listened, and I can tell you right now, it's been a godsend for us when we're doing trade shows, because now we know when that light meter turns to amber, that we know we only have a 20% charge left. We might get one session left at that point, but what we've been doing, and we show you how to do this in some of our videos, is we actually just exchange out the battery. We're ready to go, no problems there. We know not to start a session if it's amber because it could stop in the middle of the session depending upon the length and time. Also, the new headset, this is something key for those of you working in a clinical situation, is that you can actually plug this unit in. So it can be charging while you're using it and there's no feedback. The old system, of course, there was a feedback, so you could not plug it in and use it at the same time. Now you can plug it in and use it at the same time. Of course, that means you're going to have 2 cables instead of 1, but it's better than the alternative of not being able to use it at all. Now, number 11, when we talk about the headset operating normally while plugged into the charger, this is a big step for us because, as you know, the last one that we had, if we plugged it in, you could hear the hum, the 60 hertz hum that happens when you plug into a power source. We fixed that. In 12, we put together a beautiful new case. It's molded beautifully. It fits everything perfectly. You can see here we have a velvet blue that matches our logo. The BrainTap fits down in there. We have a nice operations manual that comes with it. It's more detailed. It spells it out. We have all the different pieces from the charging cable to the patch cable that goes between your player and the BrainTap. This all fits into one case, and the case now has plenty of room in it. You can put it all in there, zip it up, take it with you wherever you want to go. It's a very nice case, and it really makes the product look like it's a $1,000 product instead of the $495 product that we're selling it for right now. Now 13, We've actually extended the life of the battery. It used to be you had to buy these extra life batteries. Now we've talked to our manufacturer and we've gotten him to include a 1300 milliamp battery. This means it can deliver between 9 and 11 sessions on a full charge. This is an excellent improvement because that means that instead of having a 600 milliamp battery, you have double the life of the batteries that were sold in it before. Also, you can charge. We have a link online right now for you where you can go and buy a battery charger that can charge the BL-5C battery and you can plug it in the wall. We recommend if you're using this in your office that you buy an extra battery and an extra charger, which you can find either on eBay or you can find on Amazon. We're hoping to have those available on the BrainTap store very soon, but we know we currently purchase them ourselves from Amazon and eBay, and we put those links online for you so you can buy these. They're not very expensive, so for around $10 you can get a charger, and for around $10 you can get a battery. Now, when you connect the BrainTap headset, it's very easy. You have your app going on your device like you see here. You have the small stereo adapter. The small stereo adapter plugs into your player and plugs into the BrainTap. You're going to make sure that the BrainTap app, the volume level is over 60%, 60 to 70%, so that you're driving the light intensities on the lights. And then you can adjust the volume down on your headset. Now to charge the unit, we provide you a charging block and a charging cable. And remember, now it can be charged and used at the same time. So when you're charging it, there's going to be amber when it needs to be charged. It's going to be red when it's charging, and it's going to turn green when your BrainTap headset is fully charged. So we recommend when your clients or you get your units for the very first time to charge those batteries up to their fullest before you start using them.
Hello, I'm introducing the new BrainTap technology. The new BrainTap headset uses light and sound frequencies to help balance both hemispheres of your brain. In a 20-minute session, you'll find that you'll get around 2 to 3 hours worth of sleep because we take you through the sleep cycle, but we keep you above REM sleep so you don't actually fall asleep. In that same 20 minutes, you'll find you'll get a 20% increase in serotonin, dopamine, nitric oxide, and norepinephrine. On the right earphone, you'll notice that there's an on and off switch at the top. When you turn the headset on, you'll see blue and red lights come on. This is auricular therapy. We use no-J frequencies to help relax and soothe the nervous system. Now notice that there is no blue light coming out of the visor. The visor lights will not turn on until you have a session playing from your device. So I'll push play on the BrainTap app, and you'll see a little bit of blue light coming out of the visor. Now as I push this brightness intensity button right underneath the on and off switch, you'll get brighter and brighter and brighter. Now it goes from 1 to 4, 1 being the lowest and 4 being the brightest. The brightness intensity is completely a personal preference. It does not matter as long as the light is hitting your optic nerve.
Now I'm going to go through some of the BrainTap technology that's out there just to educate you a little bit so you understand everything that is part of the BrainTap system. I'm going to go over binaural beats. I'm going to go over what self-mastery technology is. When we use the term SMT, that means self-mastery technology. That's one of the ways that we explain the BrainTap system to our clientele or patients. I'm going to explain what brainwave entrainment is as an education tool for you. We're going to talk about frequency following response. I'm going to explain what neurosensory algorithms are, the NSA program that we use. And we're going to talk about isochronic tones. Why do we use dual voice, and how do you explain that to your clients or patients? These are all things we're going to go over here in the next few minutes. So first of all, what are binaural beats? Binaural beats are two separate tones of a slightly different pitch. One tone is presented to the left ear, the other is to the right ear. The brain combines these two tones to make a single new tone. The single tone pulse to match the relaxing brainwave frequency that we want. Your brain follows this pattern and creates a relaxation state that is optimal for learning, problem solving, and self-motivation. For those that haven't seen the full presentation on binaural beats, let's say we wanted to create alpha, that's 10 hertz frequency. We're going to put a 300 hertz frequency in one ear and a 310 hertz frequency in the other. The brain is not going to hear the 300 and 310, the brain is actually going to hear 10 hertz frequency. It's going to hear the difference between the two frequencies. This is why how the brain works and why binaurals work. Now, self-mastery technology is the process of using spoken word messages in the form of mental images through visualization. Visualization is the primary component of the imagination and is the core of the human ability to create, innovate, and dream. So, most of our sessions, I would say 95% of our sessions, do have spoken words in them. Now, we do have sessions that are just training sessions that are music only or tones only for like alpha training, delta training, theta training, or if you're a neuroinfinity doctor, we have the neuroinfinity sessions for SMR training. So all of those are available without words, but we also have over 700 sessions with words that are guiding the user through the actual process. Now, what is brainwave entrainment? Brainwave entrainment is also known as audio visual stimulation, or AV STEM. We use this light and sound to guide the user through relaxation into a state where you can de-stress and live your life more fully. People who regularly use this brainwave entrainment learn to operate in their best brainwave mode for creativity, focus, and concentration. So each time you listen, your brain's going to go through these different brainwaves, and you're going to learn to incorporate those brainwaves into your life. When you have balanced brainwaves, you have a balanced life. And we've talked about this in many other classes, which you can attend or listen to in the future. Now, what is frequency following response? This is the science that is the backbone to the BrainTap system. FFR, or frequency following response, is the effect created through synchronized light and sound. It's how the brain syncs to the light and tones. While your brain follows the frequencies, you experience less chatter and improved concentration. After a few days or weeks of regular use, most people gain a sense of balance and inner calm. Users report feeling serene focus and even an alertness when faced with high pressure situations. Remember, we're training the brain to move through these different frequencies. Our body does this naturally. I use the example of going to the ocean or going to the mountains. We feel relaxed there because the earth itself has a resonant frequency called the Schumann frequency, 7.83 uh, hertz frequency. So that's a theta frequency. That's what the frequency of our Earth. Now, our Earth is changing frequencies, so we've got to be willing to change along with it. Now, what is NSA or neurosensory algorithms? With our SMT or self mastery technology sessions that are encoded with neurosensory algorithms, we gently guide the user from an awake state into an optimum learning state. That's on the threshold of sleep. So the person's not quite asleep, but they're not quite awake. Each BrainTap system has a mini computer that converts this NSA encoding signal embedded within each self-mastery technology session. The user is guided through the brainwave entrainment process designed specifically for that session. It's important that you understand how our programs are different than anyone else's in the world. Every session is encoded specifically for that session, which means it starts and stops during that session, takes the person from beta, wide awake alert consciousness, through alpha, and then into theta, and then back out precisely in the rhythm and cadence that I want to train the brain, and each one is different. It's important that you have a variety of different entrainments so your brain learns to operate in these different brainwave frequencies. Now, we use isochronic tones because not everyone is able to use binaurals. Let's say that your right ear doesn't hear as well as the left ear, or the left ear doesn't hear as well as the right ear. We're going to use isochronic tones to do that. These tones are equally intensity and pulses and they separate sounds by intervals of silence. So think about going to a drum circle if you've ever been to something like that, or the if you've ever watched uh, like in ancient times, they might get together and they would all beat drums and things. They would all synchronize together. And also, they say that when if you go into a clock shop, all those clocks are going to be synchronized to the same time because it's something about the synchronization of different sounds and sequences. They all seem to sync together. We're going to use that principle of isochronic tones to balance out the body. So what happens is these sounds turn off rapidly, but they speed up depending upon the desired brainwave frequency. So with science, we can use this cadence, this rhythm of turning sounds on and off. Now your brain hears them, but your conscious mind doesn't. The discrete nature of the isochronic tone makes them particularly easy for the brain to follow. Now, even though you don't know what's happening, your brain is a pattern recognizing organ. So what it does, it recognizes the pattern, synchronizes the brain, and uses mono to do that here. Now, while binaural beats rely on the balance of hearing in both ears, the isochronic tones work effectively for nearly everyone, with the exception of someone with complete hearing loss. This is one of the reasons that we at Porter Vision use NSA to incorporate both types of tones. So when somebody says, I use binaural beats, well, that might work, it might not work, but we're also using isochronic tones to layer over that, and we're using the holographic music that we use. Now, why do we use dual voice technique? We're going to talk about that. This dual voice is intentional. It's not a mistake. So it's important that you tell your client or your patient that there's two voices they're going to be hearing. The purpose of the dual voice is threefold. First, you'll notice that there is an ancillary voice that moves from the right to the left side. This is to activate both the right and left hemispheres of the brain. When I'm communicating with the right ear, the left brain operates. When I'm communicating with the left ear, the right brain operates. So we're going to turn the brain on and off until the brain stays awake. So we're creating a awakened brain state where you can operate in the most efficient way possible. Second, you're going to find that there's a primary voice that is more assertive, while the secondary voice is more passive. This would be right brain and left brain. So we have a more left brain story that actually makes sense going through the center of the brain, and we have a more of a right brain, actually more suggestive, if you will. We're asking you questions like, what would it be like if this happened? How would you know if that was to occur? We're asking you questions so we can train the brain to think at the highest possible level, even under a stressful situation. These two different voices are there to activate the different areas of the brain. Third, the two voices work together to create a whole brain state. When the conscious mind isn't trying to control every word, it helps the brain to balance while freeing the individual to relax and enjoy the positive ideas and images being presented. You don't have to make it happen. We say let it happen. You don't have to help or hinder the process. It's advisable to inform your patients about the dual voice so they don't think there's an issue with the recording. You'll find that when you tell them they don't have to consciously listen to either voice, they'll thoroughly enjoy the deeper levels of relaxation of this dual voice method. In fact, in our franchise for years, only about 5% of our population in our franchise, which was thousands of people every week coming through our doors, would not want to listen to dual voice. They'd listen to the single voice. But we have it as single and dual voice. That's what the SV and the DV stands for. Now, what do you say to a client before you have them do a demo? And we do recommend you have them do a 10-minute demo. We're going to tell you don't have to say all these things, but pick out something that's unique and meaningful to them. It's going to help reduce stress, worry, frustration, and irritability while helping you to achieve emotional stability, psychological balance, and mental harmony. It's going to help you to attain the right mindset to achieve your goals. It's going to help you to access a deeper meditative state without years of discipline and practice. It's going to help enhance concentration, memory, and recall. It's going to help increase mental clarity of thought and develop your intuition. It's going to help enhance sleep so you can awaken refreshed, rejuvenated, and renewed. So all of these things, you just want to come up with a little something to have them say. Even if you were to come to my booth at a trade show, they're going to say, what's this all about? I'm going to say, well, tell you what, it takes about 10 minutes. It's all going to be explained to you. You're going to get to experience it while you're on it. And if you have any questions when you're done, just let me know. 99% of the time, they don't have any questions because they got the response they wanted. They got relaxed. They feel rejuvenated. They go, wow, I want more of that. Now, how do you take care of your BrainTap system? First of all, on the BrainTap store site, there's actually a place where you can order Smart Shield. This is the product that we recommend you use. It can kill even MRSA, and we clean after every use, right? We wipe down the equipment after every use, but this cleaning product is so good that you could actually go for 3 months without having to clean 90 days because it's a smart technology. It's a nanotechnology that keeps cleaning. Even if you forget to clean it, it's going to adhere itself to the BrainTap system and keep it clean. We're going to want you to set the equipment back to its design spot for the next session. It's important on your BrainTap that you turn it off between sessions. If you don't turn it off between sessions, it's going to time out, which means in the middle of your next session, it's going to stop working. It's also important that you download all the sessions to your player before you start playing it. We do not, even though you can stream it over the internet, most people have a problem with their internet cutting out at about 10 to 12 minutes. Even though it's designed to keep the information flowing, it just doesn't keep up because that file that you're playing is just like a movie. We have so much information in the BrainTap sessions, the SMT sessions, that most people's internet will not keep up. So take a few minutes, download the sessions that you want to listen to for that day. Once you've downloaded them, as long as you're paying for your subscription, they're going to be available for you forever. So download them once, use them on the player, and then you don't have to worry about being connected to the internet. Play it in either airplane mode or in save session mode. It's easier now to untangle any cords for easy setup because there's only one cord. So keep that untangled, keep that clean and free to use. Recharge the unit when necessary to keep the charge for future scheduled sessions. This battery does not have a memory, which means that you could literally plug it in after every session if you wanted to. Now, we would prefer that you have a separate battery. You let it drain down till you see the amber light, change out the battery, put the new battery in, charge the other one. It takes a couple of hours on the charger, and then now you're ready to go. So what we do at our clinic here in New Bern is we use the batteries in the morning, we change them at lunch, and then we change them for the next day. So twice a day we change out those units that are being used. Remember to keep your BrainTap area looking clean, neat, and professional at all times. Now, let's talk about, for those that don't know, how to do the pricing. Now, if you're with Club Reduce, then obviously they have helped you with pricing options, and it's part of the program. But if not, you can charge per session for this. We have some people that charge as much as $100 for a BrainTap session. We recommend that you package pricing, which means if you're going to charge $100 a session, you would then sell a 10 packet program and you would reduce it maybe down to $800, but they get 10 sessions. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Club Reduce includes it in every one of their programs. So whether they're getting their body wrap done, they're getting their neuropathy session, whatever's going on, they're getting it at the same time. I think this is the best way to do it. You package it together. When somebody comes to our clinic here in New Bern, they get the BrainTap sessions included in their program price. Whether they're paying $2,000 or $3,000, it's all part of the program that they get. You can create a take-home model. If you have an office that's small and you can't see them at the time in your clinic, then you can price it where you include the price of the BrainTap in your program, but they take it home to deal with their stress. Remember, there's 3 reasons they're there: trauma, toxins, and thoughts. You can work on the trauma, you can work on the toxins, but if you're not working on the thoughts, they're just going to revert back into that cycle of needing care. So you want to help them out by giving them the program to take home. In a future session, we're going to talk about the classroom model. What we've done in our clinic here in New Bern is we have a classroom where we have 10 chairs set up. We teach a class, which we provide you as being a Porter Vision licensee. You get access to the PowerPoints, the teacher's notes, and the patient's notes, and we teach you the class. We're also in the process right now of videotaping those classes. And then you can play those classes and then play the SMT session that's after it when they're done. And people will pay for these. We have 26 classes. Now we have lots of marketing materials available to you. So if you haven't logged into the back office at braintaptechnologystore.com, used your email and your password, then you don't know about these things. But we have different marketing material for you to use in your clinic to educate your patient base on what the BrainTap can do for them. Also to help you to get the referrals that you need to drive business in your practice. Now, if you have any questions at all about how to use the new BrainTap system, remember, we're here to help. Our help desk is answered from 9 in the morning Eastern Time till 8 in the evening Eastern Time. So that means that we've got you covered. 8 o'clock Central Time. So that's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So from 9 to 9, really, if you're on the East Coast, we have someone or a few people handling the help desk. That number is 302 721 6677. Again, that's 302 721 6677. You can also send us an email at support@braintaptechnology.com. I look forward to helping you share this BrainTap system. We've just had it out now for about a month, and we are finding great feedback from the doctors who have upgraded their systems to the BrainTap system and started using it. So whether you're using one of our older systems or you're ready to upgrade right now, we're here to help you to get the success that you want in your practice and get those referrals so you can increase your numbers and help more people in your community. So remember, give us a call if you need additional help. I look forward to hearing about your success. Thank you.